I want you to, I want you to roll a. See, I think this should be like a dexterity. Oh, you want to make sure you hit that one, right? Or
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
I
I'd
suppose it could be
I'd say it's like athletics or
like a
sleight of
dex.
hand.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, which one are you? Your turn.
What's up?
I'm just trying to pull up your sheet.
Yeah,
Uh,
athletics is strength and sleight of hand is dex.
yeah, let's do
So
sleight of
maybe
hand then.
sleight of hand. Okay.
Plus, you have a
Fuck
bonus
my
to it.
ass. I got a 9.
You got a 9. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, you succeed in throwing your chair in the direction of the rhinoceros and into the puddle. It does splash, but with everything else that's going on around this rhinoceros in the room, the splashing chair in the puddle doesn't seem to do much to spook it. It is just going to continue to chew the pile of curd that's in its mouth and have its head nod back and forth, looking at the lightning elemental and the pooling the spraying waterfall coming out of the pipes and the wizard and the
Okay.
fire blast. He is
He's not.
he is not dazed. He is not easily spooked by that.
Okay. I guess I'll take a stab at the air elemental unless that counted as
Um, well, let's see,
my
where are
major
you
action.
compared to it? Yeah, it's right next to you. So go ahead and you can
Okay.
give like a swing at it as you see that it's coming upon you.
Okay. That's gonna be a 8 total.
An 8 total or an 18?
8.
All right, you are going to swing at this air elemental with your rapier, yet you will miss because it is a vaporous target, and you can't seem to hit the meaty part that you want to do
Okay.
any damage.
That's it for my turn.
That is it. All right, on to. I had it written down. Where the fuck did I put that? Oh, that way. All right, Fuzzy Blumpkin. It is your turn for a saving throw since you are knocked out.
18.
Ah, good.
Oh my
You
god.
wake up, come to, you're at half health. Or actually, no, you're at three-quarters health. 18 is a pretty damn good roll. And you are feeling the side effects of obviously being unconscious for a little bit. Your head is in pain and your vision is a little blurry. But you look up and around you to assess the situation, um, and you obviously see the mayhem that is the flooded room with magic in the air and blood everywhere, and well, not everywhere, and the rhinoceros obviously still in the room. What do you do?
Mm, I can't do anything, right?
No, but I'll give you an action in terms of like trying to gather your bearings and like get a defensive stance, if you will.
Sure, I'll.
Or like if you wanted to like move in the room or like try and like get us to a safer spot or grab a weapon or something like that. There's if you want to do something strategic.
I can't see too much, so I'll just stand up and just say, "Hot damn!"
Hot damn, I'm awake.
Um,
Okay, all right then.
just say
On
where I'm
Welcome back.
Yeah,
at.
welcome back to the land of the living. On to Scroticus. Tis your turn.
I'm going to try and spank the rhino so it
Yes.
impales the wizard.
All right.
So
So since
the flat end of my axe.
since you are perfectly behind this rhinoceros, and it is directly in front of this wizard. Slapping it on the ass seems like the best idea to you. So you take the flat end of your axe, like you said, and roll, please.
13.
13. Did you put any modifiers on it?
Yep. +5.
5. Okay. You're going to slap this. Where? Sorry, I gotta pull up my tooltip for the rhino. You slap this rhinoceros on the ass, rhinoceros, and it does. Okay. Yeah, sweet. Okay, so it hits. It moves at least 20 feet straight forward in a target, and then hits it with a gore attack on the same turn. If the target is a creature, it must succeed on a DC 15 strength saving throw or be knocked prone. Okay. Let's see what you got, Mage Blade. Oh, he fucking makes the saving throw. All right, so the rhinoceros charges forward. Clearly, getting slapped on its ass is much worse than a splashing chair, and it charges forward, lunging near Azurius Mageblade. He unfortunately sees this large animal coming and is able to sidestep the single horned animal, reminiscent of a what's the word? Matador. Yes. Mastodon. No, a matador. I was just gonna say a bullfighter, but anyway. And you have a second turn there, Stroricus. Or a second move, I guess.
Just gonna flip them off and get ready for what comes next.
Flip them off and what comes next. The rhinoceros charges forward, but seeing that it's in the confines of a room, more or less hits the wall and begins to move to the left, which is going to be trampling towards our friend, the Fuzzy Bumpkin. So I would like him to make a dexterity saving throw to make sure he can jump out of the way.
Alright. I get +2, I think, for dexterity. Yeah. 12.
All right, you're able to
You have
jump out of its
+4 in
way.
saving throws.
So you get
Fuzzy
16.
Bumpkin.
Okay, well then 14 overall, or yeah, 14 overall.
Okay. So you are able to definitely jump away. Your only option is towards the center of the room. So that is going to put you right next to Terran Quintino and oh god, is that that's Klugor down there, the little naked door. Yeah, so you can put more of those like right next to Terran. Next to the control panel actually too. All right. That brings us on to Klugor, the naked dwarf. You are quite enraged, quite tiny, and you see this rhinoceros charging. You see this tiefling doing his dive roll, and a lightning elemental being swiped at by Terran's rapier. What do you choose to do?
Is the rhinoceros continuing with its stampede in my direction?
It is beginning to stampede, yes, but not enough to affect you because of your size.
Okay.
If it was like, let's say it's now, long story short, the elemental's been rotating clockwise. This guy is going to now start going counterclockwise.
Okay.
But he's going to do it on the outside of the room. So he's like following the wall. So,
right.
So come the next couple turns, he'll move more. But right now, he's not going to affect you. But
Okay.
the elemental will.
Yeah. Yeah, so because the elemental's right there. Klugor previously did sort of an investigation of the pipes to see, sort of where was the water and steam, and he broke one of the pipes to hit Azorius Mageblade with some scalding hot water. Does Klugor think that any of these pipes are under vacuum?
Do a perception check, Klugor. Do another one.
Ooh, that's gonna be what's my perception bonus? Perception +1, so that's 17.
Yes, your powers of deduction serve you well. I'm pretty sure you nailed this the last time you looked at it anyway. I just wanted to double check it, but you figured out with what goes up and must come down, and all the pressure of these pipes going up and down with such far distances means that yes, there's a vacuum in a few of them.
Okay, so Klugor would like to move very close to one of these pipes that
Mhm.
that might be under a vacuum, and
Yes.
I'm moving in a way that leaves myself very, very open to attack, to entice the elemental to
Okay.
come and kill me.
All right. You gotta taunt. You gotta taunt it with anything.
Yes, I will taunt it as I turn with my little dwarven butt cheeks.
Ah, the perfect and classic taunt.
Yes,
All right.
and I'll make rude comments. I'll say to it, "Your mother was an earth elemental."
God. I'm sure
My
if
little
this
high pitch.
I'm sure
Ouch.
if this elemental had eyes or ears, it would be quite insulted and taunted by this little dwarven hijink and butt running around at it. I am go ahead and roll intimidation or something. I want to see if you can like blast
Ooh, I
into
don't.
essence.
Yeah. Do I want to intimidate it? Convince it to follow me. Let's see. For intimidation, that would be a 9.
Okay, because it. I'm just looking through its like immunities and stuff. And it's grappled, paralyzed, petrified. Yeah, you could have intimidated. All right. 9. It's not gonna immediately change its course or anything. But luckily it is already moving in a direction that's towards you anyway. So its path doesn't change.
Okay. So, as it presumably would come to attack me, as I've just left myself open in front of it and it's trying to kill us all, I'm going to try and puncture a hole in one of the pipes that is under vacuum to suck in the air elemental.
All right. Roll your attack.
Clever.
That's a 10. It's versus a pipe which isn't
Okay.
moving.
All right. You are going to swing that mighty warhammer of yours with the pickaxe, and it is actually going to go right in between two of those large pipes and just kind of get wedged in there, piercing neither of them but denting both. And also kind of getting your hammer stuck for the next round, so to speak.
Oh, perfect. Just what I planned to do.
Just like you planned it. All right, on to Billy Bob. This is yours.
Ah, shit.
Yeah. You are looks like so if the rhino is still moving a little bit and the elemental's still moving, they're about to start hitting each other. You see the naked butt cheeks of
Oh, what the hell,
Glugor.
really?
Yeah, because you guys are both next to each other and about the same size. And you see that he has swung his hammer into these pipes, but now instead of the last effect where it sprayed water and stuff everywhere, nothing's happened, and he's just kind of stuck there cursing under his dwarven tongue. And you see the back end of the rhino walking away, opening up a clear shot to Azurius Mage Blade. What do you do? Did he just leave the chat too? Damn it! Shiv. I bet his phone died.
So I'm gonna ask Klugor here while Sheep's getting his shit together. You know, have you thought about you're gonna be like this forever, man?
Klugor will respond. Just use the band again.
Wait, say that. What was
I'm sure it's been setting me back.
Use the bomb.
But,
Use the bomb.
I don't know, man. That might kill you. We might have to just.
It might save everyone too. Hey, Shoop, welcome back.
Klugor can take it.
Hugo can hold the wall.
There's the spirit.
Oh, come on, Billy.
I need some helium.
Yeah.
Hard to
that'd
try
be
and do
perfect.
a high pitch,
High pitched dwarf.
guttural German.
Billy Bob, you don't need to answer. Okay, you can hear. Perfect. Did you hear anything that I described for your turn? Okay. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna do this again. Fuck. All right. So the rhinoceros has been moving towards the left, and the elemental's moving to the right, opening up a window to Azurius Mageblade. You see the butt cheeks of a naked dwarf right in front of you because you are the same size. He's facing away from you because he's just swung his hammer in between the two pipes, and it is stuck. You are kind of torn in this crossroads of multiple opportunities. What do you do? This is the classic experience here of writing it out and typing. Choose your style, choose your adventure. You do still have one purple scale on your person, yes. Yeah, and there's a scale on the ground somewhere over there. You're right. All right, you're gonna take after Klugor's initiative. So I don't know if you heard this part. It's not in a pipe, it's wedged in between two pipes. So you're trying to wedge it. Okay,
we
okay,
understand
okay.
how you would assume Klugor was very successful.
No, he's trying to wedge it where the hammer is, like a. Are you making a crowbar? I'm just trying to understand what you're trying to use the scale for. Okay, so you are trying to get the thing to continue puncturing. So you're trying to use the scale to puncture, not to free the hammer. Okay. All right. Go ahead and give me an attack roll, please, with your D20.
And Klugor will indicate to him which one is the correct pipe.
All right. That would have given him advantage, but he rolled a 17 already, which is pretty damn good. Would you like to roll again, Shoop, since you have advantage? Good above. See what you get. Might be better. This is okay. Yeah, 17 is gonna work. You are going to listen to the wise dwarf who tells you it's on my left side, Letty, and you're going to grab this scale with both hands. What?
With the Scottish accent.
I don't know. Our dwarves are really different, and it's I don't have helium either, so that was just the quickest thing I could do. Fuck you guys.
I like
it. Anyway, the mighty Billy Bob, the halfling, takes his scale, takes the pointy end of it, and shoves it into the piping, and it is going to hit. It's going to stab into it, and it is going to successfully create a vacuum, which is going to pull the elemental right up to the both of you. So it's going to be in between Klugor and Billy Bob now. And it's also going to pull the wizard's hat towards you as well. Unfortunately, the hat was closer. So the hat is going to clog up this hole that you've made. And it's unfortunately didn't do it fast enough. So the elemental is going to be right next to you guys. David, if you could make those movements happen. Por favor. Yeah, and don't forget the wizard's hat is now next to them as well. Actually, it's more or less between the wall and the elemental because it's plugging the hole. Elemental almost went through the hole, but not completely. You have a second. Sorry, you have a secondary move there, Billy Bob.
You're right there.
Fuck the hat. Billy Bob.
Billy Bob's movement for his turn. He lifts his arm up, grabs hat, brings arm down.
Genius. Inspired. Next, that's a next
two,
level.
Billy Bob,
one.
take out the hat.
Bold. Sorry,
Billy
we're on the
Bob.
next person. Jezebel, it is your turn.
No, Billy Bob.
Billy Bob, yeah!
Wait, so
He's too-
he removed the hat. So what happened when he removed the hat?
Wait, he didn't.
No,
remove
he
the
didn't. That
hat.
was me
That was-
saying
That was
he should.
clear.
Okay.
He's got both hands on his scale right now, so he could not remove the hat as an illegal term. Plus, he's not answering anyway. So, Jezebel Stalin, we're on to you
Jezebel
finally.
is
Is on the
still
other side,
yes.
so you can't just reach over and grab the hat, which I know you want to do.
No, I don't. I don't.
Oh, she's got magic.
I got magic.
I know, but
But I
sight.
can't even. I wouldn't because I'm on the exact opposite side. I probably don't see that the hat's in there, and I don't think that I would know to remove it even if I could.
Precisely. Well thought.
So Jezebel's still feeling a little bit shaken by the whole slut episode and all of the dark memories that have come up, and being taunted by her aunt and uncle, Jemima, and she's sort of assessing the situation and sort of realizes that this group has great stamina. We can roll with the punches, and I'm starting to feel sort of this, for the first time, a bit of a team bond rather than just being, on my own and protecting myself. So I'm gonna move over to the corner of the room in view of the wizard so that he can see me, and I'm gonna cast mage armor on myself very overtly so that he can see. And I'm gonna say, see, this is the first time I've used my wizard armor. We have stamina to spare, and we can see the cracks in your shield. And your air elemental is about to disappear. Submit now, and we will spare you.
All right, Jezebel, let's see your intimidation check, please.
I think I want. Is that persuasion or is that intimidation? I mean,
You're saying it in a threatening way with your mage armor, and like you're using the group.
but I'm trying to persuade him that's his best option.
Okay. All right, make it a persuasion.
13 plus 5, so 18.
All right, so you're trying to persuade him to just drop everything and submit to you.
Just look at the reality of the situation. We can do this all day. We'll spare you. Live out your life. Live out your days with your air elemental, and submit.
Azarius laughs at you and says, "Fool, I cannot submit to anyone but the Great One. If you spare me, he will give me no mercy." He will laugh at your mage armor, because what color is it?
Chartreuse.
He will scoff and guffaw at your chartreuse armor, and he's going to try and cast suggestion on you. Oh wait, that's a constant. Yeah, let's see. Oh, never mind. It needs stuff. It's an enchantment, not a spell. Wah, wah. Bah. Either way, you cannot get him to just submit to you and give up and live his life of luxury, even though that was a very persuading argument. He is bound by blood to the Great One. You used your movement action before you did that. You want anything else to say?
Nope. I'm just gonna hang out here next to my handsome friend.
Handsome friend. Is there anything that Klugor is hearing, or I guess you're still commenting, or he's in your head, or vice versa?
Well, I didn't know that it was him who said it though, because I was not in a fully conscious state. So I don't think I realized that. If I did, I might
No,
not
I'm
feel the
saying,
same.
yeah, you don't know Scroticus called you a slut, right?
Right.
But I'm saying Klugor is the one
Oh, I
who's
see.
reading your thoughts. So is there any interesting thoughts you're having that he's going to be getting, I'm sure? As well as Scroticus, what's your reaction to her moving towards you and trying to utilize this team bond she suddenly feels?
Oh, she just doesn't exist to me anymore. It's cool.
Okay. So you're just going to kind of hold your head high up and just not even look at her?
It just doesn't even register.
All right, cold shoulder. All right, Zurius is gonna laugh and say, "Ha ha ha! Magic is my armor. I'm a boring boss, and I'm gonna do the same thing." He is going to cast his magic missiles, and they're gonna go towards you two. So 2 of them are gonna go towards Jezebel, and 1 of them is gonna go towards Scroticus. Bah! And bah! 5 for Jezebel. Bah! And 3 for Scroticus. Pew! 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 Lasers are, magic bolts blast out of his fingertips and shoot towards you guys, sticking into your shoulders, much like the needlers of Halo 2 fun games past. But for a second, they last, and then they kind of explode into the nether, bursting with little bits of your own blood. Except for Jezebel, it's kind of piercing into your mage armor, so to speak, but gets still a little bit to you.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how my mage armor actually works. I mean, how?
I've been just substituting his as his HP.
Okay.
But when it's for a player like that, I feel like it's one of those things where it's turn based. If I read it correctly last time I looked at it.
Reading your spell, it just increases your AC to 13 plus dexterity modifier. The spell ends if the target dons armor or if you dismiss the spell as an action. Otherwise, it seems to remain constant.
Yeah, just makes your AC higher, which is pretty nice. But those magic missile spells hit. So you have magic armor, say, if the elemental or the rhino hit you. So you'd have a higher AC. But not for those.
Okay.
And he is going to send his air elemental now. Is going to swing wildly. Both of its slam attacks are going to go towards the halflings and the dwarf that are nearby it. Because
which are positioned directly in front of the pipes.
Which are also positioned directly in front of the pipes. There is an advantage on the attack versus the dwarf because his hammer is wedged in. And there is an advantage on the halfling because it is technically unarmed right now.
Yep, pretty vulnerable.
Okay, so here we go. For the dwarf, I have a feeling it's not going to hit. So even though it had advantage, it was fucking dumb. And for the halfling, god damn, this thing is going to just swing wildly at both of you guys. But because of your size and because you are unarmed and not using your weapons, you guys are both able to lightly dodge these ethereal arms of lightning and give yourselves an advantage for the next roll because this thing is almost like swinging around in circles and has lost track of where you are.
Didn't accidentally hit any hats in its swings.
No, it did not accidentally hit any hats in its swings. They weren't that bad.
Just
If I had a one, that I would have let that one roll. On to Terran. You
I want
see
to be
this.
tiny too. That's the one.
You see this. You see this elemental swinging wildly at your tiny friends. There's a giant rhinoceros, Scroticus and the tiefling in the corner.
Okay.
Who has the launch?
I'm gonna run over and take the hat out of the pipe.
All right, so you dive over to the guys fighting the elemental, and you rip that hat from the pipe. I want you to give me a, let's see, sleight of hand check.
Nat 20, baby.
All right, you are able to swiftly pull this hat out of the pipe without losing grip of it or tearing the hat in any way. So you have this fully functional wizard's hat in your hand, and the piping system did in fact have a vacuum in it. Klugor was correct in his assessment, and the hole that Billy Bob created with his scale was just enough to start sucking in this elemental that is now not paying attention to its surroundings, and it's given the classic and it's gone into the piping system. So well done. The elemental defeated.
Yeah.
Killing blow goes to Terran. Secondary movement.
I'm gonna run over and grab my director's chair too.
All right, so you're gonna run over to the center of the room and get your
Sort of in front of the window area.
Okay, so you're gonna
be weary of the rhinoceros. Try to. I think like the splashes will spook it for some reason. I have that idea in my head.
keep thinking splashes will spook. So you're
I'm
going
like trying
that way.
to walk very
So
lightly.
the rhino is walking counterclockwise. So it's
Good.
It's going the other way.
Okay, good. All right,
Yeah.
that'll be the end of my turn then.
Okay. Very well done. On to who's after you? Fuzzy Blumpkin, Simothos. You've been in the backgrounds over there. You've seen this very daring act of Terran Quintino stealing the hat out of the pipes. There's a rhinoceros in the room marching towards you. You can move it a little bit more, David. Let's say it's at the true north of the room. And a little bit more. There's a little bit of a commotion going on in between you and Azurius Mageblade, so to speak. So you don't have a free shot at him or anything, but he is now your only real threat, so to speak.
I'm just gonna try to pet the rhino and see if it can turn around.
Oh, okay. Go. All right. So you go over to the rhino, and I want you to give me an animal handling, please.
-1.
Animal handling roll.
There is one, yeah. A wisdom animal handling. He's got a -1 to it.
Uh, 3.
You rolled a 3.
Yep. No, I rolled a 4 with the -1.
Sorry. Yes. So you. So you go over to try and pet the rhinoceros, but its gait is a little bit more hasty than you expected. You cannot just simply pat it since it's not standing still. So it just kind of brushes past you. trying to figure out what's more important to it, which is getting out of this room or finding something, something spanked it on the ass and it's moving forward, not left, not right, not making friends. Um, it kind of knocks you back a little bit, but I'm sorry, you did not stop this thing or turn it around in any way. Second move.
I stand there and say, "Oh, shucks."
Oh shucks. All right, on to Klugol.
Close one.
Close one. Good attempt. It's like
Um,
the elemental has been sucked into the pipe, just like you had planned. It didn't take a roundabout turn to get there, but it worked.
all right. So Klugor's hammer is wedged in between the pipe, and then there's a scale behind it. So it's probably good in there. Also, Klugor did not attack anyone last turn, and it's been a while, so I'm just going to assume that his rage has subsided.
Okay.
So Klugor is going to rush Mr. Mageblade
All right.
as an angry naked little dwarf. I'm going to attack him in the legs, probably just bashing him with my shield. But this attack, even if it fails, is really just a feint.
Hold up. Do you have your shield on you since you've been running around naked? I guess you do.
Yes.
Yeah, you had your hammer and
Yeah.
your shield. All right, yeah.
Yeah. Because technically all your stuff shrinks with you with that spell, but I thought it was funnier if it didn't.
Yeah, that's good.
So
all right, so you still have your shield and you're attacking him around the leg.
Yep, and it's more or less a feint. After I attack, I want to end up behind him because he's very close to the window, and I want to just position myself like behind his legs in case someone wanted to give him a good stiff push.
Okay, so you're giving an attack roll to get behind him or to tackle his legs?
Yep, more to just get behind him.
All right, let's roll it.
That's going to be on attack 22.
Ooh, you are absolutely going to charge at him. He is going to see this charge coming. He is going to laugh at you and do his same Matador move where he spins and dodges your attack. Unfortunately for him, that's exactly what you wanted. So he is now precisely where you want him. Yeah, right there.
Perfect.
With you in between him and the window.
Yes.
Looking at everyone else, taunting them, saying, have you learned nothing, you fools?
Perfect.
Yep.
That's where I want to be.
And
Klugor is just there flexing and ready to give any sort of extra push or oomph if he gets a push towards the window.
On to Sir Billy Bob. What would you like to do? Oh, I forgot. I go read this.
All right, I think this is gonna work.
Yeah, he's got.
No, you don't have to speak for me again, Kulgor.
He lives.
He lives. All right, Billy Bob. What do you choose to do? You have been set up by dwarf.
Oh, I'm trying to think of something I could off of, or I feel like I'm pretty small. How what size am I like compared to the?
So you are a
mate?
halfling, and this is a full-grown man-sized person. So while Klugor is the perfect size to tabletop him, so to speak, you charging and tackling him probably not the most effective teammate to do so. It is your turn, and you don't have any weapons to speak of other than the scale that you have wedged into the pipe to create a hole.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wanted to pick up a weapon or to grab that thing to arm yourself, you would have to use that motion first. Otherwise, you're charging him.
Do I notice anything around me worth grabbing or intimidating or
throwing? There is the dagger on the ground is to the northeast. It's kind of out of your reach because it was the one that was being used to hold the hat into the concrete or the bricks or whatever. And so yeah, there's nothing else nearby you in the puddle that seems terribly useful.
Kind of gonna just. Well, I want to obviously want to help Kulgor because he's been, toting my body around, and I've noticed his plan. It kind of makes sense.
You are armed with a mouth. You. I'll leave it
Hey,
at that.
Scroticus, could you come over here for a second?
All right, so you yell
Could that
over.
not be my action?
No, I was leading towards you could taunt and distract this boss to make sure he doesn't see anything going on or things like that. Versus you don't have to always attack him. I'm trying to give you more options in your bag of tricks, so to speak. Like you could sit there and taunt him until Scroticus gets the picture
Okay,
and
all
goes
right. I
towards
get
him.
what you're saying now.
Yeah,
Okay, so you said the dagger's
I'm
in
just
the
trying to
wall,
help
so
you
like
out. You
going
haven't
east of
played a
me.
lot. It's not always. You don't always have to attack. You don't always have to do that. Like you can do what you want to do. Like get creative with it.
No, I got you.
But
Okay,
that's
so the
what
dagger's
I
still
can
on the
sense
wall, like to
exactly what Kevin's clue was leading to.
the. Let's go ahead and I want to roll then towards my dagger.
Okay, parkour
And
roll.
as if I'm gonna be, trying to distract as if I'm going for it towards the wall. So he's kind of looking at me going like to the north side of the wall.
Okay, are you gonna yell anything at him as you do your parkour roll?
I'm gonna moon him right before I do it.
Okay, all right. So this is the second tiny exposed tiny that this wizard is being forced to see today, and he is not a fan. The perception that all wizards are into that is not true, and he directs his focus at you as you dive roll towards your dagger. You are now rearmed. This is not the worm's tooth dagger. This is your normal dagger that had the poison
Yeah,
effect to
regular
it.
dagger. Mm-hmm.
And it is now Jezebel's turn again.
So I'm just curious what.
Wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Did I get Scroticus in there somewhere?
I think I got it.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. You are actually technically between Klugor and Billy, and I had to like make an edit, so I now see where I put the arrow. It's your turn. I'm sorry, not Jezebel.
Drop my shield, come on swing into the chest, two-handed axe roll.
All right, so you drop the shield, you get the two-handed axe out, and you're going to swing it into the chest of him. I'm guessing in the direction towards the window.
Yes, nat 20.
You're shitting me.
Nope.
Damn. I love it when a plan comes together. All right, so fuck. You're going to swing this Babe Ruth axe into the chest of this distracted mage, whose armor is going to save the axe from going into his chest and ripping him open and killing him. It's going to propel him backwards, where he is going to get tripped up on the dwarf, who's waiting and anticipating and flexing and trying to help assist him. He falls back into the window and puts his arms out to try and stop himself like a child or an animal that is not ready for a bath, saying, no, you don't understand. You haven't learned. But before he can get a second breath out, your Wind Fury procs, and you get that second axe swing dropping on him and just boots him at the fucking tower. And you hear the classic Wilhelm, and you look down the window to see a man with many more elbows and knees than he started with in this morning, and a puddle of blood forming around him. Azurius Mageblade has been defeated. Well done. Combat has ended. The rhinoceros is still trotting in the room in a circle like a horse in a pen. So yes, it is now trampling near Testicles, which Testicles is going to have to make a saving throw now. So I will do that. Testicles rolls terribly. Oh no. Hmm. Let's see what this does. Okay. All right. Goes at him with the charge. Kind of more of a trot though than a charge, but Pescacles doesn't see it coming, and then he gets hit with one of the mighty hoofs of the rhinoceros, taking 2 points of damage. The group hears the squeals of their four-legged companion, and they all turn to see this new danger, so to speak. Even though it's not really a threatening thing, it was more of an accidental hit. The loud squeal gets you all to turn away from the window and back to the rhino in the room.
I want to sort of do the walk up to the wild horse walk, where you have your hands out and say, hey, I understand how it is. I know what it's like to be alone. I understand what it's like to be scared. Sort of whisper to it and make a gesture of a friendship, of being a comfort to it. And I want to just keep moving closer and closer as I say
I'd
these
like you
comforting
to
things.
give me this animal handling throw.
15 plus 1, 16.
All right. You are able to walk slowly towards this animal as it trots towards you. Again, it's not in a very aggressive pace. It is just more of a scared animal. So you begin to make eye contact with this thing and make a connection with this beast and kind of slow it down. It begins to keep trotting alongside with you as you have one of your hands on its shoulder. Um, and so let's say now you and the rhinoceros are more or less trotting together towards Scroticus.
Okay. When this was cast, did we find out anything in regards to turns, or does this thing just exist now?
It just exists.
Okay.
You brought a rhino into being. And let me see if it.
Because
Yeah, it doesn't.
this thing could come in handy. It's a
It
great.
doesn't disappear or anything. So yeah, there's real. Like I said, you've managed to slow it down now with your animal handling. But it's still kind of trotting, trying to gather its surroundings.
And I say,
Anyone else want to?
hey
Yeah.
guys, let's make this thing our mascot.
What are we gonna call him?
So Kalugor is obviously the animal lover. Loves seeing what Jezebel just did. He was really impressed,
Of course.
and so he would like to just come as close as comfortable for Jezebel and the rhino, and sort of try and walk a little with them, just to try and get familiar with the rhino, and also to be a little closer to Jezebel.
Would anyone else like to get closer to the rhinoceros and Jezebel?
I'm gonna start fucking with these knobs.
And I just rolled a 20 on animal handling.
Perfect.
Not a nat 20, but a total 20.
All right, you are able to go up and as you begin to, you said you don't say anything, you just want to go up and start.
Yep. I just want to walk and be closer to them.
Okay.
Make friends.
The presence of another animal lover is another calming agent to this rhinoceros as it begins to just stop its trot, more or less right there, a little bit more dead south of the room, but you guys get the picture. Taryn, you said you start playing with some knobs.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Our goal was to fuck this shit up, and I guess
Someone's here to fuck some shit up. So you flipped the switch earlier in the fight, right?
Yeah, so it started the water.
Yeah. Do you remember what else the control panel had?
I know it had a couple buttons.
You're correct. There is a white button and a black button.
Okay, so I'm going to press the white button.
All right. You press the white button, and you can hear a bunch of humming and electricity start to gather. The grinding of metal, though, is a sharp turn in the orchestra. There's something going wrong with this machinery. It's becoming very apparent that all the water that was in those pipes was very important to whatever you just activated. So this is now beginning to shake violently and start to really kind of scare you guys a bit. This is not a working machine. This is something that might be harmful.
We should probably get out of here.
You turn to the group who has been petting their new rhinoceros and say,
Oops.
Get on the rhinoceros. Let's get the fuck out of here.
"Hey guys, this started making noise all on its own. I don't know what happened."
Yeah, I mean, craziest thing.
All right. Everyone else hears you. Do you guys gather?
Yeah.
All right.
Kluger's going to grab his clothing. He is going to assume that the hammer is a lost cause, wedged between the pipes, and with this possibly exploding, he's going to leave his hammer behind.
No. With all the shaking and violent cacophony going on in this machine, it has loosened your hammer. So you
Oh,
can grab it.
perfect. So I'm just going to scoop that up then.
Yep. Scoop that up on the way out. Taryn, you have the wizard's hat in your hand. Do you want to take it with you?
I'm gonna just throw it in the building.
Don't
Yeah,
throw it. Fluffy Bumpkin's going to pick it up.
That's
know.
true. I guess.
No, he already wore it once.
You
He just,
see me going.
he just didn't want to keep it on long.
Okay, I'll just keep it. Put it in my bag.
Okay, you're gonna keep the wizard's hat.
Yeah.
You've already grabbed up your one dagger. The worm's tooth dagger is still in the room. If anyone wants to dare try and scoop it up somehow without being possessed. Anyone else lose a weapon in this fight or anything like that?
Do I have enough time to grab my poison dagger out of the wall?
Yes. Grab it. Everyone grab your shit and go.
I want to go with the rhino, sort of with my hand on it, going down the stairs.
I would like the two animal handlers, Jezebel and Klugor, to make secondary animal handling throws to try and convince this animal to pick up the pace again and move in the direction you guys.
I'm gonna have to hold it up right here. This is ridiculous. I'm just gonna wave the one wonder at the rhino.
Oh.
Wait, is the Wonder in? Oh, you took it from Jezebel.
Oh my
Yeah.
god! Yes, please.
You son of a bitch.
Cast your dice.
92.
All right. God damn it. All right. A burst of colorful, shimmering light extends from you in a 30-foot radius. You and each creature in that area that you can see must succeed on a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. So everyone give me the Constitution
That's
saving throw.
Everyone.
Because that's everyone. Because they're all heading towards the door with the rhino.
We're all gonna die in this tower.
So the rhino.
17, baby. Wait, I didn't add anything.
Oh, fucking right.
11.
8.
All right. So anyone who rolled over a 15 is fine. Who rolled under a 15?
Yay.
I
Come on,
did.
guys.
I did.
I rolled
Klugor.
at 15.
All right, you're fine. Klugor, Billy
Billy
Bob,
Bob.
and Scroticus all failed.
Yep.
You guys are now blinded for a minute.
Shit.
The splash of light has been too much for you to handle. Everyone who succeeded on the rolls was able to blink or shield their eyes fast enough, or for whatever reasons their racials allowed them to do this, but you guys were not. Unfortunately, this is a bad time to not see where you're going, as you guys are all trying to clamber through this tiny door and down the stairs.
What about the rhino? Was it blinded?
No, the rhino is fine. It makes a great saving throw.
All right, so I'm gonna rush forward since I can still
Hold on,
see.
hold on, no,
Oh, okay.
no,
All
no.
right,
The,
sorry.
the wand was cast, and Jezebel and Klugor have to make their convincing throws to get the animal moving. Sorry.
Okay, I was gonna say Klugor's gonna try and put a hand on the rhino and follow the rhino by seeing eye rhino.
Yeah. So Jezebel, you're not blind, right?
Right.
So you would be the one to make the throw for me, please.
16 plus 1, so I got a 17 on animal handling.
Klugor
Right.
also got a 17, 14
Right.
plus 3.
But Klugor is blind.
That's okay. He's still comforted. He's got a hand on the rhino.
So the three of you guys with the rhinoceros begin to start making your way outside the door and down the stairs. You are very nervous about the weight of the animal going down the staircase that has been made of old like wooden beams. But because the entire tower is now starting to shake through its foundational pipes, that is going right out the fucking window in terms of your top 10 priorities. So the three of you are moving, and that leaves Taryn, Morthos, and Billy Bob. You guys, who's blind out of you three?
I'm blind.
Billy Bob.
I'm gonna grab Billy Bob. I'm not blind.
All right, so you grab Billy Bob and make your way for the door. Billy Bob, you just are
Who's touching me?
yanked by the scruff of your neck. Yeah.
Just
Morthos, Fuzzy Blumpkin, are you blind or not? What?
I am blind. Yes.
You sound like the deepest. Okay, so you unfortunately are blind, and so are Scroticus. So you guys start making your way towards the door, please. And I want you to do another Constitution saving throw.
I was
Can I,
gonna
like,
yell out,
yell?
let's grab hands.
You guys are already out the door. The three with the rhino, you went
Well,
first.
Yeah, we gotta get this rhino downstairs.
This was just
Especially
going in a hasty thing. Taryn grabbed the halfling and he went. So the halfling doesn't need to make a throw or anything. Klugor doesn't need to make a throw because he's following the animal.
Can I
But-
yell like, "Come on, guys! What the fuck are you waiting for?"
Yeah,
To like
you
help
can yell back at them so they have an idea of which way you guys are going, but they've got to
Yeah.
do the throws.
follow my voice, you fuckers.
just
No,
put some hands on the
The
wall.
thing is, it's
Okay.
the tip is they're only blinded for a minute. They just have another saving throw at the end of the minute. Unfortunately, the minute's passed and everyone else has left the room. So just give me the throws. Scroticus and more of those.
3.
You hear the calls of your allies, so you begin walking and stumbling towards the direction of the wall, or the door, but you still can't clearly see. The blinding effect is lasting a little longer than you'd like. Scroticus?
Ten.
You're mute.
10,
10?
10,
10, 10, 10. Same thing. You cannot see, but you are moving in the right direction towards the door. You two are actually going to both walk towards each other and bonk heads, taking 3 points each of hilarious damage. And that is actually going to knock you both to your senses, and you are all can both see, so you can make it through the door and down the staircase. Quickly, you guys are racing down the stairs as again the machine was not made to run without water, and it is been activated and it is going to blow. You guys make it to the bottom of the staircase. You are able to get out through the door because it was opened. The brickles that had pieced themselves up, because that's how one of you guys got in later. I can't remember, but you guys burst out through the door with this rhinoceros in hand. You look back to see this tower shaking violently and swaying, and large chunks of rock begin to fall off, and crumple around you guys as you continue to make your way to a safe spot. As you guys look around you in this clearing, something is different. Besides the tower that's been smoking and falling apart, the area that had a desolate, dry riverbank is not suddenly trickling water. It's already got a large, steady stream of water that's been coming out of another gate on the other side of the tower that you guys didn't see. Um, Through a simple deduction, you guys realized that the lever that was activated mid-fight had some sort of release on the tower, and all the water that had been stored up and put into the pipes that wasn't released into the room you guys were fighting in was actually released back into the river. You guys have succeeded in opening up this dam, so to speak. The lake on the other side is still there, and the rubble from the tower as it collapses is still going to make sort of a natural damming process. But the river is going to have a steady flow and continue on down to the port city, you think, for some time. Hooray!
Noise.
Are we near the water stream? Like, as
You
it's
guys are near the water stream. Like I said, you've just exited the tower. So on one side you have a lake, and on one side you have now this kind of stream that's been forming for the last half hour or so. So it's starting to get some weight behind it. You guys, if you were standing in the stream, it would be nothing but like ankle deep water. But if you could still go into the lake on the other side.
Is there any nice green grass around?
There is green grass around the side of the lake that has been there for a while. The desolate area is still dead. It has not been. The water's not that strong.
I'm gonna lead the rhino over to the grass and
All right.
give it something to pasture on.
As Klugor steps out into the daylight, his eyes begin to adjust. As painful as it is for a dwarf who has low light vision to come outside, it is much better than being completely blind, which he was just a minute ago. Him, his rhino, and his tiefling friend are now looking at this beautiful lakeside scene. Anyone else?
Can I see?
You all give me a saving throw.
2.
Fuck it, you can see. I just would. I didn't make Kevin roll. Of course, you can see, man. The everything has passed. You are rubbing your eyes and seeing a wonderful sight. That being that you are not dead, which some people thought they might be in the middle of that fight. So,
Being exhausted, I want to go over to the water and drink some.
Would you like to drink from the stream or from the lake?
The stream.
All right, so you go over to the stream and you lean down and you start to take a sip from the water. You feel the refreshing, cool water going down your throat. And if you would like to roll a d4, you can regain some hit points.
Is the stream connected to the lake?
Through what used to be the tower, yes.
So the stream is flowing
2.
into the lake?
No, the lake is what used to be a large river, like it formed the lake, but now the lake is filling into the stream.
Okay, because I was just thinking...
The lake is being fed by something else too, though, so
Okay.
It's not like it's a finite lake.
I think before we went into the tower, Scroticus took a poo. So
But remember,
I'm just wondering which direction that water was flowing.
it would be going in that direction. So
Good luck with that.
That way to remind me about that. So you are drinking from the poo water side of this, so to speak. But what lake doesn't have a little bit of fish poop in it? This is just a large Goliath-sized poop. Anyone else care to interact or do anything? Relax, talk about what they did or what their plans are.
I'm eager to help Billy Bobby and free the dam up a little more. So I'm gonna go cast Thunder Wave on the blockage. Just go nearby and just fucking Super Saiyan out on the wall.
Okay, go.
Try to clear some of the blockade.
All right. Go ahead and cast that shit. Let's see. What is that?
Wait, actually, I think I used up all my spell slots.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think you have that until you
Check
can.
that, yeah.
All right then.
Klugor is going to sort of, because he and Jezebel are walking with the rhinoceros, and he's going to kind of awkwardly ask Jezebel if she can turn me back to normal size. He's gonna be,
Jezebel
I
says,
know you
yeah,
are
yeah.
a wizard, and you do the magic. Could you turn me back to normal size?
Jezebel says, I would if I could, but I don't know the right spells, and I think you're cute just the way you are.
Klugor's gonna stay like this.
To Alexa's half-sized body. Remember your armor and stuff didn't shrink with you, but if you
Yeah.
want to stay at this size, we're gonna have to do some kind of modifications.
Well, Klugor has no armor. He has like a lot of furs, so he mainly
okay.
just grabbed his bearskin cloak, which he wears as his sort of the majority of his clothing. So
Okay.
he's just kind of carrying that. It's just kind of dragging on the ground behind him. But he does have that over himself. He is covered. He's
Perfect.
not
We have a covered dwarf
that
with
obscene.
cloak and his weapons. Okay, so they're gonna stay at this size. The rhinoceros begins to edge towards the water and dip its mouth into the lake, lapping up some of the cool water.
Yeah, that's. I guess I'll just be clearing rock, looking at this romance, you know.
Looking at this romance scene, just ready to start clearing some rocks out.
Yeah,
Scroticus,
fucking lazy bastards, I say to myself.
Testicles has come out with Scroticus, and they're all too relieved to be outside. Testicles goes out to lift its leg up on one of the rocks nearby, wary to not get underfoot the rhinoceros again. It is not a fan of this much larger, newer mascot to the team, but it can't do anything about it.
Little testicles.
Testicles. All right. Do anyone want to go take a bath, or just start? You guys want to head back down to the inn that you have been successful in saving this town and take credit for it?
Yeah, Klugor is gonna wait to take a bath. He's not going in the poop water.
Not going in the poop water.
I throw him in the water.
Klugor resists.
Test of strength, both of you.
20 total.
I also got a 20 total.
Shit. Test of strength, tiebreaker. No, you guys are actually both going to grapple into each other. It's very clear to Klugor that he is about to be thrown in. He is shrunk, so I cannot say how he does this against a full-sized Goliath. But due to his, again, very stout and sure-footed nature, he does some fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu shit or something and just does a hip throw with him. And you guys both go toppling down the side of the dried up bank and into the water. Okay, remember this isn't that deep of water. You guys are both kind of like sitting in it, splashing around. Klugor is hastily looking around. Could you give me a perception check?
Oh no. That's gonna be perception. 15.
All right, you look around, and to your relief, you don't see any sort of giant turd floating near you. You haven't put your hand on it or anything. It's not smeared on you. The water doesn't smell like shit. It's clear that this turd that you've been afraid of must have floated downstream already, while you guys were still inside the tower.
Okay. I will do a quick rinse off while I'm in here then.
Okay. You start to rinse off the blood and the sweat and stuff, and Testicles is going to see this fun that his master and his other dwarven friend used to do, and he is going to yip happily, wag his tail, and jump into the water that is much deeper for him, but he enjoys it all the same. He's going to start splashing around and jumping around. Anyone else got anything they want to do?
Go back to the town
All
and get
right.
this
You guys
treasure.
have gathered your things. You begin to start shutting down downstream now to go collect your treasures. Um, the trip is wildly shorter than it was on the way up because there don't seem to be any gangs on the road or any kind of things that you guys are going to trigger or activate. As you are getting closer and closer to the port city, though, something strange is happening to Testicles. He seems to be getting bigger. He's growing in size as he's walking with you guys. What used to be a tiny little chihuahua is now not that large of a dog in size, but now this is like a built little dog. Like it's starting to get some musculature to it. It's starting to get some kind of like round uh, size to its back. It's looking a little less like a dog and more like a little bodybuilder on four legs walking down the stream with you guys.
Klugor is really worried that it's because he's getting smaller and not because the dog's getting bigger.
Okay. Kugor begins to question everything around him, looking at everyone else and double checking with like a hand measurement to make sure that he's not getting smaller. Does anyone else want to do anything about this or notice it?
I wanted to ask, over time, would the rhino have developed a sort of loyalty or affinity as we journeyed naturally because it's with us?
As most animals, in my experience, that usually happens after you feed it a few times.
I would have grazed it along the way, taken it off
I mean,
to find the sweetest
and
grass.
that's what I'm saying. You've taken it to graze, you've given it water, you're leading it down the path. It will develop an affinity toward you if you continue to be kind to it. It's just a rhinoceros. It's not a wildly aggressive animal unless provoked, I think.
But I want to prestidigitate it the color of my skin.
Right now?
Yeah, as we're walking into town, I want it to be the same color as me, my skin tone.
We're gonna have like a demonic red rhino.
Yeah.
The red rhino, that's our mascot for sure.
Red rhino.
Guys, we can change its color whenever we want.
Yeah, I mean, if that's a spell you can cast anyway without.
Make it the rainbow rhino.
Yeah, just make it a red rhino. Why not? All right, so you cast prestidigitation, whatever it's called, onto this rhino.
Prestidigitation.
Oh, that's a great run. Yeah. All right, giving you guys this sexy, meaty red rhino as you are walking into town. You guys are reaching the gates as you get into this city. You see that what used to be the lookings of a ghost town with nothing going on. People are starting to step outside, mostly outside the tavern, to look at this wonder of water that's coming down and trickling down into their city. There's by no means a port. There's still a long way to go before that gets filled up with water, but this is one of the first times that the people have seen fresh water that they didn't have to overpay merchants for to bring them. So they're very jovial, very happy as this what would be band of miscreants walks back into their town. They don't greet them like that. They greet them like heroes. They know that these were the people that left to go do this, and they came back, and somehow it is done. They don't want to ask questions. They're happy. All right. You get
Point of clarification.
Yeah.
I looked up enlarge reduce the spell. It does have a 1 minute duration, so I don't know if Klugor returns to normal size over time,
we were
or if
having
this is an
so much
altered.
fun with it. It's kind of up to you, because Jezebel, I gave you the option to keep it and then she can cleanse it, but she likes it and you don't want to. So
yeah, I think he's going to naturally return to normal.
Yeah, we can do that over time, for sure.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
You don't have to just. But
Right.
as you get back into town, we get into the tavern. you are going to start feeling a little bit bigger, but you are not seeing that the size of that dog is getting any smaller. In fact,
Okay.
the eyes of Testicles are starting to get a little bit larger and rounder as well, as his fur it begins to get patchy and mangy. It's starting to lose its sleek luster to it, and the musculature again is very very kind of scary to see on a dog. It's like those little pit bulls that look like they're on steroids.
So
His
we
teeth
put
are getting
this
larger.
dog down. Gets
I gesture towards Scroticus and ask him, is this a normal occurrence for Testicles?
Scroticus is no longer there. Scroticus had been drinking heavily along the way.
Scroticus, I'll take that one. Scroticus has amnesia. Remember Billy Bob. So when you asked him that, he clearly had no idea, and you turned away accepting it. You guys all walk into this tavern, and to go collect your prize. The barkeep welcomes you back, as well as, oh God, what was the prostitute's name? Maisie
Oh,
Olivier.
She's so happy to see
No.
Billy Bob.
Yeah, Maisie Lachey. She's so happy to see you guys. And Morduck Cold Brew says, you survived. I see my potions must have worked. He motions to you guys to all come up to the bar to celebrate and grab ales and drinks or whatever you want. Where's the big monster who had the red one? This is when you guys look around and notice that Scroticus is not there. He is not in the tavern. He is missing. He did not seem to come into the bar with you guys to celebrate the spoils with you, even though Testicles is there, looking a little off.
Klugor says he didn't make it.
Okay. That's sad. That's sad to hear. At this moment, great David is going to take over the group.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Brown.
Thank you for relieving me of this stress.
So
You
you
did
guys
wonderfully.
give me your thoughts around the group of Scroticus not being there.
I have some sort of underlying, it's not resentment, but I can sort of feel what happened, and so when I see him, when I talk to him, I feel physically protected, but somehow mistrustful because he did violate my unconscious.
Okay.
Okay.
He violated Klugor physically, and Klugor thought he was kind of a dick to his dog.
Who is still with you?
Yep, Klugor is definitely going to be trying to comfort Testicles as he transforms into something.
Oh, but wait.
Into Scroticus.
Testicles is not. You can't find Testicles right now. So Testicles has been taken. You look up and you see a one-legged man holding him, running with him out the door. Testicles is quite large right now, so he is lumbering on one leg, just hastily exiting the tavern.
Is he hopping like a fucking like the Pixar lamp or something? Has he?
Kind of like
Very good visual.
yeah, he has the peg leg, so
Oh,
he's
okay.
hobbling along.
I see.
Klugor yells, "After the pirate!" he runs out after him.
Oh God.
Okay, so you chase him out of the tavern. Does anyone follow or does anyone stay behind?
Jezebel's gonna ask the barkeep for any extra spare food items that might be tasty for a rhino.
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah.
You and the
You have
rhino
on your rhino menu.
still chilling in the tavern. But
I'm
the
gonna-
pirate,
Oh my bad. You got.
the pirate stops at the bay and he looks at Testicles and he goes, "This is going to speed up the process." and he tosses Testicles into the water. At this point, it's no longer a slow change. You see this rapid change. The hair is falling out. Lights are shooting out of this creature, and you can hear these tortured whines of a dog, screams of you don't know what yet. And at that moment, Dustin, please go ahead.
As you look into the churning waters, a small, deformed creature about the size of a dwarf begins to crawl out of the murk. It is covered in shimmering purple blue scales. It has the lookings of a few horns protruding from its head. Any slight, there's no notions of things like ears. This is a very aquatic reptilian creature. It is, in essence, that of a Murloc kin. It is a dragonkin offshoot. They're smaller water-faring dragonkin. And it comes out of the water with a gurgling. Thank you, friends. It says to the group with its guttural and slightly creepy voice for the first time.
I think I'm the only one that went outside, right?
I guess so. So thank you,
So-
friend.
So I'm gonna go up and still kind of like pat you on the head and be like, that's a good testicles.
Testicles? No! Yes, Rick.
Was his like Murloc shrill loud enough for us to hear him in the tavern?
It is not necessarily a loud shrill that you guys can hear in the tavern. No, it is just more of him making his first vocal sounds with his returned dragonkin form. He has been released from the spell that made him a dog, and now he is, like I said, a short-statured dragonkin.
Okay, I go ahead and ask the barkeep for a brew for Kolgor since I owe him one after throwing that one out the window.
What's his name? Nifric? Nifric? What did Klugor hear?
Oh God, what did I even write? It was Gulric.
Golric?
No. I liked Geshrick better. All right, so Gheschrik. Geshrick.
Geshrick. Oh, okay.
Geshrick.
So Klugor. Oh, that's a good Geshrick.
He gurgles in happiness.
Okay, so at this point, Mr. Pirate looks over at you, Plugor, and goes, okay, don't kill me. Let's get everyone together. Let me explain to you what's going on. So, do you willingly return back to the tavern?
Yeah, Klugor, can he do an insight check to see if this guy's legit?
Sure.
That's a 21.
21. You definitely feel like, there's not a lot to give away with this guy. You don't think he's totally going to fuck you over, but you don't feel great about him either. So you just need to learn a little bit more at this point.
So Klugor is going to kind of, if we're going back to the bar, kind of walk in front of Geshrick, protecting, just in case the pirate goes after him again.
Okay. All right. So you guys return back into the bar. The group that didn't leave the tavern, rather, what are your reactions to seeing these three walk in together?
I'm gonna order a round of 5 Royales with cheese for everybody.
Oh, you would.
Dustin, give me a 100 roll real quick. Hold on.
30.
How much?
30.
30. You, just so you know, you're still naked and your penis is in the 30th percentile of your kin. Just FYI.
Wait.
Of largeness or
A
small?
large
Like the top 30.
top 30?
Yeah, so you know 30th percentile. So you are larger than 70% of your kind in
I'm a
terms of
pretty
your
well
endowment.
hung little dragonkin. All right, thanks, man.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure we had that clear.
Yeah.
Do seafaring dragonkin penises look like?
Did you see that water movie?
The Shape of Water?
No.
Lady
The
fucks
Shape of Water? Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about immediately. The lady fucks the fish. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta Google. Shape of
You know,
water PP.
yeah. It's kind of a surprise thing. It's not hanging out there at all times. It can
Billy Bob's not too surprised from seeing this because of his time on the waters, and he just hands Kulgor the one that he owes him and says, "It's for everything. Appreciate you carrying me around again."
Nah, no problem, my friend.
Man of my word.
Jezebel says, "What
Excellent.
is that thing?" to Klugor, referring to the new thing, the new creature.
Oh, this is Testicles. Testicles, this is everyone.
I'm Testicles. I am Gastric. Gastric is me.
Yeah, he's not guessing.
So Testicles is dead? Is that what you're telling me?
No, no.
Testicles, Gastric.
Not dead. Gastric. Cursed to look Testicles. Big dumb Goliath forget.
Oh shit.
So, our mateys, maybe I can provide some more insight. But first, someone buy me a beer.
I'm not buying you a fucking beer.
There's
You
a
just
lucrative business proposition for you.
okay. Waiter beer for this pirate man.
But not the expensive one.
Bullshit, but fair at the same time. Scroticus comes from a faraway land across the seas. I don't know how he came into the possession of Testicles, but they were both cursed. And now I ask ye sail across and save Scroticus with me.
You know, he was an asshole, but he was our asshole.
He's our asshole.
Exactly.
But besides that, why would we do it? Why would we be
Yeah,
interested?
Klugor wants to ask, how is that lucrative?
We don't do
There
things
be-
randomly. We do things for reasons, mostly involving gold.
There be a city under siege that will pay handsomely for their release.
And what
Okay.
does that have to do with Scroticus?
Are the same ones that curse both him and Testicles. You know him as Geshrick. They are the ones who hold the city. So if we go and save Scroticus, we will save his people.
They are going to pay us?
Yeah, you would expect the king's son to get a handsome ransom.
The king's son, eh?
King's
The
son.
plot thickens.
Who is the king's son?
Scroticus.
Testicles? Is the king of Murloc? Or
Shoot straight with us,
Scroticus.
pirate. Seriously.
Scroticus be the prince.
Yes, yes, Prince Scroticus. Gastric tell you before.
So, little halfling, shall we board the ship and get on our way?
Well, Klugor wants
Did
to ask first, why are you here? How came you to the Beast Vale? And why seek our assistance?
I had cast a spell to track down Scroticus and Testicles.
Okay, that makes sense.
I have beer on the ship too.
Why did you make us buy you one?
I had to make sure we were negotiating in good faith.
Nice.
Well, before we leave, I think Klugor still was able to sneak some of the alcohol out of the tower, and he wants to give that to Mr. Coldbrew.
Mr. Coldbrew happily accepts and doesn't promise, but he's going to do some experiments with it and see what it can get you when you come back.
Klugor's excited.
So, this merry band heads off to the ship. Shoop, do you have a description of your ship in mind?
It's a little beaten up, but definitely quite a large ship, more than enough room for all of us.
Okay.
But it's definitely it's been on the sea for a while.
Okay.
Is there room
And
for Rhino?
That was my next
thank you.
question.
Thank you.
In the storage area, yes, but it would definitely be a tight fit.
Is everything Hobbit or Halfling size on this ship?
No, because the ship was originally owned by someone else. He just had a whole bunch of halflings working for him.
So he did not accommodate to their accessibility needs as an employer?
No, we often stacked on shoulders to be able to pull winches and get everything going. You know, we were quite nimble, acrobatic little creatures.
These are different times.
Okay. We are at 11:55. We are on the ship. So let's go ahead and call it a day for that.
Hell yeah.
There should be approximately 3 chapters to this journey. So
Can
I
I-
look forward to...
Is there
Mhm.
hay on the ship? Just want to confirm that.
Yeah. Well, there's. Go ahead.
No, it's
They
your
want to
ship.
bring, yeah.
Well, I'm curious, what happened after all the little angry halflings came looking for me, if they maybe ransacked the place at all, or if they kind of just left it as is. Unless they have left it as is, there's plenty there, as long as it wasn't ransacked.
It's ransacked.
Yeah, fuck.
So you will
Yeah,
have to
there,
go back.
there would be no hay. We'd have to get supplies before we could leave.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need to get supplies.
Excellent. So next week we will pick up, we will get supplies, and we will make our journey across the sea.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Sweet. I think I got my page done.
Yeah. Thanks
Live.
I'm working
for
on
the DM,
Gestrick.
baby.
Yeah, no, thank you guys for playing. I'm glad you
story.
guys had fun with it, and we can continue on with this pirate quest. Sounds pretty fun.
You laid a good foundation, I think.
Trying to just get us started for sure. So yeah, Gestrick is a Murloc at best, but he is Dragonkin to, for the sheet.
So, did we get any XP or leveling up action from this?
Most likely, yes, you guys did. I don't really know how to, if you guys want to hit level 2 or something.
On this,
Because I'll be just the level 1 guy, but you guys can go ahead and hit level 2 if you want, or whatever. I don't know how it works in this. I'm still learning this website, so I'm gonna need some help making my guy a little bit more.
yeah, let me
filled
know,
out.
because I've actually rolled another one with this other group from
Okay.
high school, and we the character build pretty detailed.
Okay. Well, let me know. Can you? So you can see the Berlugas group, right? Can you guys see mine now, Gestrick?
Let me see.
Pull it up.
Can you just put your link in the chat?
Cool.
I see it.
Gestrick the Leaper.
Up. Private message. Whoops.
Again, born.
So
Okay.
is it okay if we level up, David? Is that
Yeah, everyone go ahead and get yourself up to level 2.
okay?
I want to switch out my characters. I do not like my guy anymore.
My
And
gosh.
we can figure out details for next week. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
just make him at
Giant
level 2.
seed.
okay, because I already made a second guy who's like
Okay.
I will vibe with. I think the group and everyone will enjoy his presence or not enjoy his presence. I don't know, but
Right.
I laughed while making him a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Like that's what I just knew I wanted to make a Murloc. I haven't really thought of anything else. So yeah,
I
Kevin, I'm gonna be a monk.
I
Oh,
just
that-
I had the name. I had the name start out, and then I just did everything from the name because I just was just dying at the name I gave my guy.
I don't want to hear it yet.
We gotta wait.
It's really good. I think I was just
Oh
fucking I
man,
was just fucking dying.
I just how are we?
That's awesome.
I can't wait to kill off Morthos.
I don't because oh god, I just yeah, he just was like so useless in the other in everything the entire thing, and it's like this guy has the guy I made is much more useful, and I
Okay,
think will fit the group better, and
we'll
just
see about that.
yeah, we'll see. I mean, I don't know. He might not fit too well, but I think it's just
Funny.
he'll be a lot fucking funnier for sure, and I'll just get into it more because I was just like
Yeah.
I didn't really get into the other guy.
hmm David, if you will do one thing for me to kind of carry on the legacy of this port town.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, before they head off, the barkeeper, he sent them on that quest to get fresh water so he can make more potions too.
Yeah, that's kind of like I left that up to you if you come back to it, especially
Oh no,
since Kevin brought
I
back
figured
the.
if you want to just be in charge of those for the next mission, like you get to make up what they are, give us the choices, and see who takes them and who doesn't. You know. So that's just the one thing is like I want those to always be rotating per campaign if possible. Because I just think that's a cool little additive. It's like, all right, you can choose to have something happen to your character right from the start, or you can just say, like Sam said, no, I don't want it, and he didn't have it. Or if you join late, you don't get it. So it's kind of like an
Skeptical
incentive.
of the
Yeah.
magic.
So it's just one of those things. Like I gave you guys ones that had like a little plus, a little minus, but then I kind of like they died off because I couldn't keep up with them all. But if you want to make something that's a little bit easier to keep track of, or easier to be like, all right, this happens to you, make it permanent, so to speak.
Do they overlap though? Like if I stick with Billy Bob, do I still have a poison dagger?
No. So you were getting an attack to your a poison attack, not from your dagger, it was from you. So yeah, that is
Okay.
gonna wear off.
Gotcha. Okay.
So yeah, so it's like Scroticus's rage, Klugor's spiritual like attunement, and your poison stuff is not going to be there now for this next campaign,
Okay.
in my eyes. Unless somehow, some way, he takes a potion and gets like the same kind of effects, or something like that, or tries to get that happen. If you find a witch in the streets and say, hey, can you give me? I had this potion at one time and I want to try it again.
Mm-hmm.
But
It's Scroticus of
yeah,
death.
Scroticus, Prince Scroticus.
Well, fuck yeah, guys. I think I'm gonna be chilling and gaming. If any of you guys.
Get you for chill on, bro. I gotta cue that AV up. Know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Weekend.